we're here Sunday to wrap up this 4-day weekend of racing. Keith,
Yes.
we're welcoming everybody to today at the races, and let's go ahead and take a look at that track and see what we have going on for the Sunday shenanigans here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, fast and firm. We updated it yesterday right after that first race, right? So, hey, our turf crew, I was talking to Georgianne about this, and they're doing a great job. Turf course looks in great condition, holding up well to this weather, some new maybe tricks brought to the table here for handling this turf course. I know one of our guys, Liam, has that golf course background, and it's working. I mean, it's proving dividends. We're keeping these races on the turf. I like it. So keep it up, guys. Great job, because they're behind the scenes. They don't get much credit, and they deserve a lot of credit. Helps our handle tremendously.
I absolutely agree with you on that. And we do have a couple of turf races to keep things going on at that fast and firm turf course here today, kicking off the early pick 5 in this nice claiming 10,000 for the 3-year-olds 3 and up, which have never won 3, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. Keith, let's go ahead and take a look at Island Delight. This one in the barn of Anthony Ferrier gets Arnaldo Boca Chica.
3-year-old going to take on a little bit older for the first time, right? And Island Delight, we're going to go back to this most recent race. I'm sorry, which race are we going? May 7th, my bad.
Yes.
May 7th. Just off the pace, makes that move. Got that kind of a grinding style out 5 wide and gets it done very late. Lord Utrecht, kind of that steady mid-50 type of runner. We've seen Grand Escape run some big efforts. Next time out at Pimlico, just a little bit of a bad actor, caught wide, no fire whatsoever. Let's hope he behaves today. The drop, Ferrier, when he kind of does this, these 50% drops, 36% over the last couple of years on the main track here in Maryland. So maybe a political decision is part of that flow is a big price. I think Island Delight, if he acts well, comes out of the gate, it's going to be ascend and try to use that speed to his advantage against this particular group. You've got the one on top on the engine. I can see that one happening. Damon, this is his angle, second off the break.
In fact, the barn trend of second off of the break, 12 for 37, 32% at a strike right now. Currently for that barn of Damon Deal DeVico, as Keith Fusel goes 5-1-2-4 in that opening of the early pick 5. Now let's carry on to the early pick 4. Keith, let's see what your ticket looks like.
Yeah, we called one yesterday. Didn't pay a whole lot. Circling the drain
There we
did
go.
look good. Kind of didn't have a real strong flow to go into, but had a little battle there mid-stretch. Kicked on. I think he'll progress on the grass through some conditions. He looked good to me. But yeah, 2-5-6-9 to get you started, Callie. 4 deep in race number 2. Tough little race. It's a spread race to me. Race 3, 2 and 7. Carbonite Street Hustle out of nowhere last time. See if he can bring that one back. Race 4, 2x2. Does he stay in? I haven't gotten any changes yet on that entry.
I believe he does.
Okay.
Yep.
And the 4, Paper Law. Big fan of this old vet. What's he, 10 years old now? Yeah, jeez, man, he keeps bringing it to the table. Race 5, 1, 2, and 6. Lady Ensign on the stretch out. Connie's dance off a brutal trip through the stretch last time. We'll show that video. $24 for that early pick 4.
And of course, we do have Keith Fusel giving out. He hit it, as he mentioned, yesterday. So just giving out the good stuff.
We had a value play yesterday. It was not value. I'm sorry for that. I thought we'd get like 7-2, 4-1 on New Rome for Corrales, and kind of sent out there, got clear, and a little drift and held on. But man, ticked down from like 7-2 to 5-2 to 2 late, but a winner's a winner. We'll take it.
And there we have it. Keith Fusel goes 2-6-5-9 to get you started on that early pick 4. Race number 2.
No.
Excuse me. We are on race number 2. I skipped right ahead. And it does start with this maiden claiming 30, going a mile and 16th on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Scratching the 7, 12, 13, and 14. You and I both land on the number 2. Hey, Chief. And let's go ahead and take a look at Hey, Chief from that last time out. J-Ron Barbosa returns back for the call.
Yeah, subtle drop, little trouble out of the gate. You're going to see that comment, tight early is your comment in the short comments there on the racing form, Equibase, whatever you want to look at, track program. But was able to get position. We're going to see this one more time. There it is highlighted, yellow cap, a little bit of a loose self, just a little bit of a steady there, right there. Thanks, guys, for catching that. Cost a little bit, but was able to kind of drop down, get position. And when the real running started, this one he produces. You're going to see sneaking up the rail with that grinding run. Gets the lead, actually, in deep stretch. Unfortunately, Vaccination going a little bit better to the outside of that one. There's Hey Chief with that run. Looks like he's home.
It was great.
Oh, he's home.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He was, though.
Yeah.
Until he wasn't at the last
Let's
minute.
hope he gets it done today, though. I like the inside post. He doesn't maybe have to work as hard to get that position. A cleaner break. I just this little drop, I think, can get him over the top. I think, if we can get 5-2, 3-1, it'll work for me.
Sure, and then you go underneath with Giant Spain for Saranago. Get Toledo coming second off of that layoff. First effort out at Laurel Park, this course and distance. Also, didn't have the best of trips first out. Yeah,
looking for this barn to get on the board, right, with the turf runners. And Giant Spain is a little bit tricky. Excuse it last time out of that Hey Chief race, bobbled start, into some okay internals, but was caught wide. Hampered the run, second off the break. My only question is the distance. Is there a limitation? This guy has made some runs and a little bit of a flattening out in the past. Carlos Daniel's going to have to time this run perfectly if he's going to get the job done.
Absolutely, as Keith Usa goes 2-6-5-9 there in the first leg of the early pick four. Second leg is race number 3 in this claiming 25 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. It also starts that rainbow pick 6, a nice carryover. That'll certainly tick right over 20 grand by the time we get going into race number 3.
How about yesterday?
Right.
Our man Shyman up in the press box. Shyman, I don't want to, brutal beat.
Oh.
Didn't have a horse earlier in the day that, he's kicking himself, and I understand. He did have the $118 winner, Daredevite, ending it up. Just tough. Did a great job of handicap.
Brutal.
Couldn't quite put it together. See if he comes out again today and gives it another shot.
This is a bit of a tricky sequence for today for this Rainbow Pick 6.
They've been like that. I've kind of thinking about playing a ticket. Maybe I've kind of spread early, so I'm going to have to do some singles maybe late to make it affordable.
Yep.
But let's look at your ticket here.
And so I do. I that's how I approach it as well, Keith. I go 3 wide in races 3 and 4. Race number 5 is where I can trim it down a little bit. As I scroll to race number 5 with the 1 and the 6 Lady Ensign. On the Rail Connie's Dance, I'm taking a stab with that one, getting a better trip. Race number 6, definitely 4 wide, 1, 2, 3, 14, who does draw in for Mike Stidham. A nice effort first time on the turf, last time out. A nice second. Race number 7 is where I go ahead and find my single, Your Best Bet of the Day, Pit Stop Man, for Norman Cash. Really, that horse is on such a wonderful roll. I'm going to ride that bandwagon and kind of cross my fingers to add to that. And then I include the 3 and the 4 Bosses of Pal and Spycraft into my 2 selections to give you a little bit of a dramatic finish. $38.40 for that ticket. We'll see if anybody can come home this weekend a real true winner with that nice little pool of. That'll definitely be over 20 grand by the time we get to race number 3, which is this claiming 25,000, which have never won 3, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the number 3 Abuelo Paps. Keith, let's go ahead. Let's talk about Carbonite. And let's talk about the fact that you do have a little dig on the Norman Cash barn. Yeah,
and this one's going to go second off the claim. Norm Cash, last 2 years on the dirt, 4 for 17, 24%, 9 for 17 in the money. Second off the claim in this kind of $10,000 to $40,000 claiming range. ROI strong, jumps out at you at $4.78. Scratch the 3 Abuelo Paps, who I thought might have been part of the pace flow in here. So Abuelo Paps will wait another day for him. But Carbonite in a little trouble, a step slow. He was keyed up behind rivals, couldn't get really settled at speed, kind of carrying at Ellis Park. But I like the confidence, moved up off the claim, a good effort. Cleaner trip today, has enough speed, I think, to get close enough to the likes of maybe B. West From and Street Hustle to kind of grind them down through the final 3/16 of a mile. So shorter field, tough little field. Street Hustle, was entered, I guess, main track only for, let me a little bit.
16.
Yeah, 16. Okay, now back up. Going to jump here off of that 2 and line. That race, visually, super, super strong. Something clicked. Maybe they figured something out, because if he comes back with a 76 buyer, it's going to work against this group. A great post here. Axel Concepcion can kind of just go or sit just off of it. That was super impressive. Ridden out. We don't dole that one out too often. He had something left in the tank last time out and ready to go for this jump.
Absolutely, within a barn that's on the roll of Annette Eubanks in this summer series that we have going on here at Laurel Park. As Keith Usta goes 2-7, 6-1, keying in on the 2 and the 7 a bit in this race to kick off that Rainbow Pick 6. Race number 4 is a starter optional 20, going 1 mile and an eighth on the turf. Scratching the 3 Walkaway Joe, the 6 Dixie Drawl, the 7 Maximum Impact. Keith, you have the number 4 on top. This is, just taking a look, Papel Law for Robert Wolf, J-Ron Barbosa. Really nice effort in that last effort out.
Maybe a little bit of a sentimental pick. I do think 2x2 part of this entry for Ness might be the one to kind of fend off when the real running begins. But take nothing away from Papel Law. The 10-year-old here for Robert Wolf, he's had success year in and year out over this turf course. And I like, off just the 5/8 try out to 1 mile and a 16th, just gives game chase. When the real running started, 3/8 pole, U.S. Constitution just got too much of a jump. But there was no let up. He holds on for second. He's going to have to make a move in today into a horse for Gunslinger, first off the claim for Kieran, who wants to get to the front and hold on. I worry about, maybe a little bit of 1 mile and 1/8 trying to make a move into a horse like Gunslinger. These two might just get caught up in a battle, say from the 3/8 to the head of the lane. And lurking there is going to be 2x2, who just couldn't make up ground last time out in that same race we saw. I think he's going to make up some ground today.
I agree with that. I see it how you see it as well. And as you mentioned, 2x2 coming in, making up some ground. We'll see how that works out. 2x2 breaking out of the 4 posts there today. And the 1A Brilliant Chase is going to be breaking all the way from the outside in the 10 post as Keith Ustil goes 4-1, 9-2 for race number 4. And we will be right back for this commercial break to talk about the rest of the 4 races on Sunday's card.
And they're off.
And welcome to the start of the late pick 4 sequence here in race number 5 in this maiden special weight, going a 1-turn mile here on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old fillies. We're taking a look at Connie's Dance, and let's go ahead and actually take a look at Connie's Dance from that last effort out. Phil Capuano, Carlos Lopez retains the ride.
Yeah, Connie's Dance was well meant back in March in debut. A little bit of a stalk and tire, but a little different tactics over at Pimlico, a slower pace down inside, and watch this down on the rail. Absolutely nowhere to go. Basically from 3/16 pole to the wire, wants to run over rivals here. Just can't. He's going to have to pack it in late. Major improvement, I thought, second out. Showed the ability to come from a little bit further back. Draws the inside. Now going a 1-turn mile, I think it'll work. This was a half to Vance Scholars.
Yes.
He's a half sister to Vance Scholars, shown a lot of talent. Kind of a tough little horse to figure out, but man, when he's right, he's good. Slew of other winners in the family. I think enough flow here to target. So just trying to escape trouble maybe early, head of the lane. I think you get that long stretch to kind of go ahead and make up that ground, get that decision to make the right move, get a clear trip. Connie's Dance come grinding and get it done.
Here's the thing, too, about Connie's Dance really quick, is that especially in a field with these maiden special weights, going that extra to the second wire, that rail is even if he stays on the rail, that rail, I feel like that rail is going to open up, so I'm not concerned about that at all. You also have the number 2 to the inside, Hayton Blue for Hammy Smith, gets J-Ron Barbosa, returns back to the 1-turn mile, and the last time we saw this one at the 1-turn, it wasn't a bad effort.
No, was not. It works. Mid-50 buyer, might have to run a little bit better. Again, was out of that race with Connie's Dance last time. Again, we talked about a little bit slower, pedestrian-like, 50-3. Just wasn't able to kind of ramp things up. I liked Taint Blue that day. 6-1 on the line. I think she's going to hold a little value. I think that's about the right price for that one. I think she's going to get a chance with Kentucky Rain, Lady Yenson, even Italian Warcry. Some of these other horses that kind of want to go. I think the pace will be quicker than that 50 and change, and she'll improve and get back to that 1-turn mile run where she made a little bit better run. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6, and Lady Yenson, I know is a horse that Rodman likes. 2 sprints, now going 2 sprints off the turf to the route of ground, going to the 1-turn mile. It works. The family is there. Multiple route winners. Mare was good against the flow back in that run on the dirt at Pimlico. I think this one's all right. I think this one doesn't need the lead. will spy Kentucky Rain and try to move into it.
Mike Trombetta does this exact same thing with the number 3. This is one that's taking a stretch out for the first time as well, and the barn has been doing very, very well for the summer meet as of lately. Mike Trombetta is striking at 25% over here in Maryland.
Yeah, the blinkers went on, kind of a similar kind of style again. She almost looks like she wants to be a one-run sprinter, but I think she's going to be able to just keep going chugging against this group. It's going to work. Lone sibling was stakes place going long on the main track.
As Keith Fuso goes 1, 2, 3, 6, I go 1, 6, 3, 4 in race number 5 to kick off the late pick 4. Let's go ahead into race number 6 in this maiden claiming 45, a mile, but this time on the turf for the girls 3, 4, and 5. Scratch in the number 8 2 spot, scratch in the number 11 Irish Zapper, scratch in the number 15 intro. The 14 runs and the 13 runs as well. Keith, you have the number 1 on top, Carmel Sunrise, Hugh McMahon, Javion Toledo. Let's go ahead. Oop, no video on this one, but wonderful effort last time out returning to the Laurel lawn.
It was. Here's the protect move again. Was in for 24. Hugh with a couple of protect moves today. Now up to the maiden 45s. I give this one a little bit extra credence though. She ran against Stern Chaser, who was a drop down horse, a 4 to 5 shot for Michael Matz, I believe, that day. And she showed no let up whatsoever. I thought she was making that move. They weren't going super fast. She'll kind of go away. She was a pest from the 3/8 pole all to the way to the wire. She stayed on. I think she's going to take even another step up, second time in the barn. Maybe they've got her figured out. She doesn't necessarily need to lead. There's a couple other horses in here that I think will go, maybe like Forgotten Gift. Nuano will lay a little bit closer. I think she'll improve and stay around a little bit longer. Second time off the bench for Trombetta. She loomed large last time, just a little flattening out. But spread race for me, Cal.
Yep.
Take a shot, Carmel Sunrise. Crone ran very good, kind of worked through some traffic at the quarter pole last time, is bringing some finish visually. Yes, was beaten to open lengths, but kept on very gamely to the wire. This one's kind of figured out right now for Mark Schumann and Richard Hackerman. Tonka Tough, a brutal trip in that amateur rider race. The jock tried to do everything he could.
Right.
She was a little rank coming out of the gate. She got steadied. She got carried out in the first turn. She was wide down the backside. Looked like a winner. Game to the wire. She made a little bit of an early move. We're going to get Ruiz today. She breaks cleanly, gets out of that rank habit out of the gate. I think she'll settle into a good position. And I'll let you talk about the 14 who does draw in, and this is a Stidham runner. So again, will be used in my exact.
Really quick, yes, Lee. Queen of Dance. It's that turnover from the synthetic to the grass that really garnered my attention. Amongst the half siblings, winless on a turf so far, but of course, War Dancer fine, but Stidham's pretty strong with his second-time turf starter, 7 for 21 as of late. In fact, your pick in the 7, that was my original pick before the 14 got in. And I'm also taking a look at this time where, while, yes, the 14 post isn't great in this one-turn mile, this one's it's going to get a wide trip unless this one really takes back, which I don't think is the right move to do with this one. So that's the only reason that I probably have this one a little bit further that way along my picks.
Okay.
But yes, wide trip is going to be the biggest Achilles heel for the Queen of Dance today.
Yeah, I've got confusing stats here for Stidham with these kind of moves. I'm looking.
Sure.
You had that the second turf, and then I've got the maiden turf runners making their third career start. He's about 11%.
Okay.
But he's 19% with the second time out, lifetime. So it's
Sure.
it's weird.
Weird.
You're right. Going to have to overcome that. It did have a good trip last time. Sat off a contested pace, made that move, couldn't quite sustain. Yes, that was 2 turns, but has that extra race under her belt. Should go a little bit further today. So don't forget about the 14, who does draw in race 6.
And as Keith Fuso goes 1, 3, 2, 7 in race number 6. Race number 7 is an allowance optional claiming 40,000, going short 5.5 on the dirt. In fact, scratch in the 6 Savoy, but also late scratch in the number 1 Float On. Keith, you and I end up landing on Pit Stop Man anyway. That was our shared top selection. Let's go ahead and roll back to that nice last effort on June 11th.
Yeah, this is June 11th, and here's a key when looking at Pit Stop Man and Indian Lake. This is a first level allowance. Final time 9-1, 45-2, little slower half. Final time a couple ticks quicker than that 3 other than that Indian Lake was. And this guy is just super sharp right now. We thought he was going to be able to get to the lead and dictate. That day he does. If there's a time to strike now and go up to this next level, because I think he was entered a week or 10 days ago, maybe for a little bit lesser kind of a race. But he finds the right kind of spot here. I think with a clean break, he's able to get the lead. Barbosa riding great guns right now, is able to control it. going to have to bring that, that higher 80 race back, though, because Indian Lake, Synergy Star, they're going to be lurking. I don't think they're going to be terribly far out of it when they turn for home. So Pit Stop Man, I'm going to ride, a horse that's really kind of rolling along right now. I like his efforts. 7 for 19 over this Laurel course. But Indian Lake, he's faced the right kind. And Synergy Star, that was a little bit of a wake-up. Made a move into a very quick course. That was that Brittany dropper. Looked like he was going to get it done. Just flattened out a little bit. 5.5 could be right in the wheelhouse for Synergy Star.
Well worded, and
Yep.
We're both banking on Pit Stop Man to make no stops here in the 7th race. Let's talk about our last race of the weekend in this closer on Sunday. The 8th race, starter optional 30. Going 5.5 on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratching number 8, Kobolov, and you have the number 1 on top by the Sayshore. Big fan of this filly, Mike Trombetta Caramanos, coming out of that win, that state bred allowance win.
Yeah, that was a good run. He's had a couple trouble trips. Came off the break. Trombetta recently, we talked about last 14 days, 4 for 10, 7 for 10 in the money. This is another one, I think with a cleaner break and gets position around the turn. He is the most trustworthy, sustainable closer in here, if I can say that. I think he's going to just grind it out. Again, I hate using that word, but that's the style that he brings to the table. I'm a little suspicious of the 3 Spycraft on this kind of a drop. You look at some of the company he's faced. Killers on the turf. Ends up here for 30, and I don't know. I think he's going to have to deal with some challenges up front. He's going to have to make a move into Valiant Vinny, who's very quick, who looked very sharp over at Pimlico. I like By the Seashore lurks, as does Boss is a pal, who's very good over this turf course as well. 3 for 5, good run last time. Yeah, did all the chasing at Pimlico, but now third off of a break. I think his run is even stronger. I'm going to key around the 1 and the 4 in racing, kind of like we did the other day yesterday with his price horses yesterday. Roadcap's horse, a big run. Good job there, Jerry Roadcap. And that was he ran second at a big number. The winner was the Shipper, the Delaware runner, right?
Yes.
Yeah, got it done.
Really quick, I want to get your take on So Street. Mike Matz, Michael Matz Ruiz gets back in the saddle here today, and we're cutting back from that effort on 7.5. But Matz has been doing well as of lately, first after the layoff.
Yeah, he's maybe not what he once was, but he's freshened up. I think he's a little bit better sprinting than he is going longer. I like the position where he's going to draw from. It's been a long time. I look back. His last one was a 2 in a stakes here, the Howard County Stakes, 2019. He didn't come back and run second in the Laurel Dash in September of 2020. He was good. He's going to have to be tied on here, but I agree with you. I'm going to throw him into the mix because I think Ruiz, again, will be able to drop in, settle a little bit, and he'll make a run through the stretch here for a match. You're talking about his runners are kind of live here, but I'm going to key around the 1 and the 4 primarily.
And then he finishes up with the 10 and the 9 there in the last. Let's dig into a little bit more of your picks within your best bet and your value play. Let's talk about your value play first in race number 6.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to talk about your best bet today in race number 7, Pit Stop Man. Of course, we just discussed him in that little feature race that we have on the dirt.
Well, you saw how sharp he was. He ran faster than the Indian Lake race.
Yeah.
Goes now to the 2 other conditions. This is a time to do it. He's very quick. If he breaks cleanly, they're going to have to really run to kind of wear him down. I think, and he's a horse. He'll meet the challenge and he'll fight you. So I think he's going to be very, very tough again today. Get it done. Value play comes in race 6. This is a horse that's your top selection, right? Tonka Tough.
Yes.
Just a horrific trip, and no fault of the rider. Just really unlucky last time in an amateur race.
Yep.
The time before, caught wide, early move. Today, gets Ruiz, not against the other riders. But I like his style on the turf. Be able to draft him, maybe get that covered up trip, and that's going to kind of help kick on a stronger run from the quarter pole home for Tonka Tough. In a wide open race.
A very wide open race. So we'll see how that ends up looking there in race number 6 with that jackpot super high 5 carryover. Of course, Rainbow Pick 6, a nice carryover, starts in race at number 3, and we are going to take it to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches. And have a great weekend, guys. See you next Friday.
Good luck.